last week after the ANC's NEC meeting that decided not to reconfigure in terms of kicking out the DA from the GNU, despite the frustrations between the two parties in this grand coalition. Instead, they're looking at inviting new parties like Action SA and the National Coloured Congress to the GNU. The ANC says it's to strengthen stability, to improve effectiveness, but some say it's just going to complicate an already messy coalition. Fadiel Adams, the NCC leader and a member of the National Assembly, he joins me now on the line. Good morning, Fadiel. Really appreciate your time. The Democratic Alliance, the Freedom Front Plus say, heck no, over their dead bodies. Will there be an expansion of the Government of National Unity? But have you received an invitation letter yet?
Hi, morning, Lester. The invitation letter would obviously be sent to Sakina Frenchman, who is our party secretary. I have not received an invitation as yet. Of course, there will, even if that invitation comes, there's going to be lots of talks, negotiations, bilateral talks between us and the ANC before any decisions. And we'll, the party that we are, we'll come back to our constituency and discuss.
Because so this is not a decision this is not a decision for Fadiel Adams to make.
No, it's never a decision for Fadiel Adams to make. I don't know where people come on that notion. I'm not the boss of the NCC. It's all about consultation. I'm not even the boss at my own house. I'll speak to my wife about that. I don't get to choose the curtains or the paint. So for me, we're going to go back. We're going to go back to our people. We're going to sit, because remember last time out, our people said no, and that's why we walk.
Does Fadiel Adams, a member of the National Coloured Congress and a member of the National Assembly, would he be open to joining the Government of National Unity as its sole MP in the National Assembly?
I'm ambivalent. There's a part of me that says yes, we should, because if we get the right ministry, we can do things for our people. And then there's a part of me that says no, man, not while the DA is still there. And you know what? The funny thing is the DA doesn't want us there any more than I want to be there. And so does the Freedom Front Plus. But you know what they do? They actually trigger that part of me, that defiant part of me that says, you know what? Just because you right-wingers don't want us there, we're coming. Let's see if you leave.
Fadiel, this is what you said not too long ago.
It's not a GNU. It's a GUN. John Steenhuisen, that's how you spell gun. It's a gun that's pointed at the aspiration of poor South Africans. This is not a Government of National Unity. This is the sale of the country. This is back to 1986.
This is not a GNU, this is a GUN. It's a gun pointing at South Africans. Are you looking to point the gun at yourself?
But the more I sit with it, the more convinced I am that what I said right there was right. We've got two performing ministers in my view. We've got the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, and we've got the Minister of Land Reform. They're the only two that are performing. So I don't know. Like I say, Fadiel Adams doesn't want to. But you know what? Give us the right ministry. Give us a ministry where we can empower our people, where we can loosen loosen the rope around our necks. We might consider it, but again, it's not my decision. My decision.
Does change only mean? Does change only come if you get a ministry? Songezo Zibi and Rise Mzansi have 2 seats in the National Assembly. Rise Mzansi says, "Don't give us a ministry, but you know what? We would look to see change within the National Assembly." And so Songezo Zibi is the chairperson of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts. Do you need to have a ministry to effect change?
In our view, yes.
And what would that ministry be?
You know what? At the spite, as I said here, we've had, like I tell you, the NCCs had no talks about it because we don't wake up with this on our mind. Out of spite. Let me tell you where I am. I'm at Fishing and Forestry or Correctional Services.
So you want Peter Groenewald out of his job?
Oh, whoever the DA Minister for Fishing and Forestry is.
It's Dion George.
Like I said, there's too many of them. I don't know them. I know Peter Groenewald is at Correctional Services because for obvious reasons I have a deep-seated interest in Correctional Services. Is it Leon or Dion George? Whoever it is, yeah. If we can get either one of the two, I'd actually be on the pro side. I'll be batting for it in that case, depending, of course, on what our constituency says. It doesn't matter what Fadiel says. It doesn't matter what Dwayne or anyone else thinks. Ultimately, when we go for consultation on the ground, that's where the decision is going to be made.
Have you think the government of national unity has had any effective change? It hasn't had any effective change on jobs numbers. We now have a 33.1% unemployment rate in the second quarter of this year. But have you seen any significant economic policy change that would have changed a lot, as you describe, of changing the lot of the coloured child on the Cape Flats?
Nah, Lester. I think I've been vindicated, because what I said a year and a bit ago, I said this thing is not going to do anything for the poor. It's not going to change anything for our people, and it's just park the issue of the coloured people. I'm talking about the poor people right here.
Your campaign is as large as, and I remember various campaign speeches, comments, quotes. You've said you're campaigning for the coloured child on the Cape.
I'm still campaigning for and I'm still fighting for the coloured child. But when I'm referring to the GNU, I'm telling you this thing is doing nothing for poor people anyway.
And you feel, or you guesstimate, that the presence of the NCC will make that change in economic policy to influence the lives not just of the coloured child but all poor people in South Africa.
You see, Lester, this is why there's going to be bilateral talks between us and the ANC. So if we can get the guarantee that we can do this thing properly, the way we want to, according to our manifesto, of course within the guidelines of everything else, yes, we might consider it. We look, people are accusing us of this, that, and the other all day anyway. There's people that tell us that we're here for the money, da-da-da-da-da. Those are the same people that can't think far enough to understand that if it was about that, we'd have taken the ministry a year ago. So what we're saying is...
Have you been offered before? Have you been part? I know that there was an open invitation to talk with all political parties after last year's elections. Have you been offered a membership of the GNU in 2024?
No, open to everybody who wanted to come. We said, well, the DA is Freedom Front Plus, no thank you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what we're saying is, given the right condition, given the guarantee that if we do the right things, we can change things on the ground, we'd be open to talk. But that's all it'll be. It'll be talks. Look, ultimately, the ANC can decide now, man. You know what? These guys are pushing too hard.
Is it only for the ANC to decide? Look, many argue that the DA and the ANC should just go it on their own. They have sufficient, a party with just over 40%, another party that's just over 20%, that's 60% of the seats in the National Assembly. They could do it by themselves without needing all the other, 8 other political parties in this broad coalition.
They could. And it'd be interesting to watch that, because you must understand something. The Democratic Alliances, they are as conservative as the National Party were, maybe even more. They will argue and vote against every progressive policy brought to the table, whether it's Bella, whether it's NHI. They will argue and agitate against it. So that coalition could never work. I think it would be Alan Zille's dream, but it could never work. And for this reason, the ANC is forced to speak to parties like Action SA, like the PA, like the PAC, like the UDM. So unfortunately, there's a need for that. I think that a two-party coalition would be brilliant, but it'd have to be the right two parties. In my view,
it can only be the two parties that have enough seats in the National Assembly to govern effectively with a 50+1 majority, and at the moment it's only the ANC and the Democratic Alliance.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm saying those are the wrong two parties for the two-party coalition. They're both corrupt in my view, and the one is ultra right-wing. So for me, that's the wrong two parties. But in a utopia, a two-party coalition would be brilliant. But these are the wrong two parties. Okay. For this reason, the importance of the smaller 1, 2, and 3 seat parties, holding into account within a GNU, theoretically could work. It's just not working at the moment.
Fadiel Adams is the leader of the National Coloured Congress. It's not his decision to make for the NCC to join a government of national unity. The invitation is out there, but already the DA and the Freedom Front Plus and Rise Mzansi have said, don't broaden this thing. Make it work first. It's already a messy coalition.